Well, howdy folks. I'll be right back. 1 minute. Okay, we got our Tesmen cap on now. Yeah, today we're going to take a look at New Tools Monday here, and it's digital multimeters, and I've got two different types here. One is sort of like very manual, kind of, digital multimeter for checking stuff out around the shop. The other one is one that Tesmen is really proud of, and it's pretty cool. It is pretty interesting. It's a smart digital meter. Very good price, and it's really more for the I'm not sure what I'm doing kind of people. And also it has one other fantastic advantage. It's not very expensive, and I guess my whole favorite thing with this meter here is if the neighbor comes over and asks to borrow a multimeter, good luck. Yeah. Tesmen makes quite a line of different meters, even the probe ones, the ones where you just sort of put it near the electricity and it tells you there's power there or something. But around any workshop, wood, welding, I don't care what kind of hobby shop you got going on. It's around the house these days. It's really good, really handy. It's really handy to have a digital multimeter. And Tesmen makes some very affordable, really nice meters with nice features. If there's any noise back here today, it's because of the AC. Yesterday it was 101 here, and they said, the weather guy said, it felt like 122. I don't understand, because I think 122 feels too hot, so I don't know. It was a hot day. It was hot. Today it's going to be hot again, just, whatever. But let's take a look at this multimeter, because this is, oh man. And it looks like they even, and Tesmen includes Duracell batteries, which are, Duracell. Hey, they're good batteries. They include the batteries with the meters, so when you buy it, you've got everything you need to be able to run the meter. So that's a good thing. And look at that. That's a sweet meter. I like that size too. That's another thing. Some meters are too big, or even if they're too small, they feel kind of flimsy. Tesmen seems to know how to stay, right in that area where it feels good in the hands, kind of thing. And this is a nice one because you actually select the mode you're going to be looking at. Now, that's where the smart meter we're going to get into does a few different little things. It has an auto function where it will help tell you what it is you're checking or what's going on. But this one here is more for the, I guess we'll call it the intermediate type, like electricians or, anyone that's got a little bit of familiarity with, boy, that was a tough word, for electrical work. Multimeter is, you just, and I hate to say it, but I have replaced my digital multimeters countless times now. And it's not because something, was done wrong or something. It's because the meters got damaged through either falling off the bench or, rolled the car over it or something, whatever happened. But I've gone through a lot of multimeters, and right now, I've only got a couple left. Yeah, so this is kind of nice, some stock, for multimeter problems, because I use them quite often with different problems, such as the Fender amplifier. I rebuilt, washed it out and rebuilt it a few weeks back. We did a show about it. We were able to save the Fender from going to the dump, and it really played. I just played it yesterday again. It plays nice, it has a great sound. I'm more than pleased with it now. Meantime, we're going to get the probes out, and the probes are shipped kind of funny, which could throw some people off. So we're going to talk a little bit about, just show you what's going on here. These are caps that are help to protect the probes from, maybe you don't need all that protection on your probes. I do not when I'm checking. But if you're into like a really tiny electronic circuit or something, you might want to have this on there to help. So you're only using the pin or the head type of the probe to check the electrical connection, anything like that. And the same with the back one here. It's more like a packaging thing or something. The Tesmen also has these little caps. Let's see if I can get them off. There we go. And inside these are what they call banana jacks. We used to call them banana jacks. They don't look like bananas, but yeah, it's kind of a four-way split on a round plug that sort of does its thing to make a connection with the meter. And we got 3 Duracell batteries, so I've got to put these batteries in here. So as soon as let's see, how bad is it? Do we need a screwdriver? I'll put new batteries in this, and then we'll go back to checking out the Tesmen multimeter. Well, number one Phillips screwdriver and fresh batteries. Now, this whole gray piece here comes out, but it also does this little thing, and that may not look like a big deal, but when you can put your meter down like that so you can read it while you're testing with probes, that is super handy. That is a smart feature to have on any multimeter, and a lot of them these days, they end up like this, and you end up having to try to prop it up or something so you can read the darn thing while you're doing your testing. But this meter even goes another step forward. It has this little hook right here where you can actually put it on a nail or a screw or something and hang it this way, especially if you have like a station area where you do your testing, that sort of thing, something like that. That could be really super handy. And I also see they have this back on the back here for the probes. Yeah, so you can actually keep your probes with your meter like this, and that's really good too. Now, that is only part of it. This thing also seems to sport a flashlight. Okay, so there's also some kind of a flashlight or something going on back there. It has AC power. All right. It also has millivolts. That's for, you know, looking at circuits that are very, very like computer circuits where you're like 5 volts or less and you're looking for something really tiny in a signal. And then you have hertz, which, you know, again, for frequency. That is a, you know, cool feature. And then we have the usual, I guess we'll call this the ohms test or resistance test through like a diode, something like that, where electricity is DC and it's only running one way. So you want to check it, you know, again, you know, you have that. And then we have a straight ohms where you're actually measuring the resistance of a circuit. So this multimeter is already offering all the different functions of what you'd really want in a system. Now we also have, this is an odd one because it measures the temperature, and it's saying that it's 31 Celsius in here right now, which is, whew, that's hot. But this is Texas, and yeah, it has been extremely hot in the last few days. And then we have this one here, which is phase. So phase you can actually check, which is sort of like that oscilloscope idea there, where you actually check the wave to see if the, you know, current and the voltage are lining up with the phase, and see if you have, you know, it's, you know, it gets kind of in depth. So I'm going to generalize a little bit of this stuff because not everybody is into all that sort of thing. 3-phase is 120 degree electrically, whatever. Okay, so we won't get into all that, but yeah, the DC, and the DC is in again, nice package here where it's in a it measures even micro wave or micro DC. And then you have your full, you know, milliamp DC, and then you have full-blown amps DC. So again, this is more of, like I say, a person that has a little bit of knowledge of what they're looking for in a multimeter, because this offers a tremendous amount of, you know, capability in one meter package, and that's really cool. We also have the NCV, which is something else that, again, I'm going to sort of skip over because, like I said, I'm trying to keep this basic and simple. And also have it off. When you switch it off, it's off, which is cool. When you do switch it on, you also have functions. You have hold, and you also have, let's see if I can get this working here. This is a this is the backlight, and then also has, let's see if I can get this, I don't know if I can, there it is. And it has a flashlight, which could be really handy with a meter. So it has a lot of, let's see if we can shut all this off now. There we go. And it has a lot of different functions for that. So that's cool, you know. Now you also have your inputs. Now you have your one common, which is your black. And I'm going to plug into that. I just want to see a couple things here. But now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about these connections, because you'll notice there's one black one. So that's this guy right here. Yeah, the black wire to the black wire. Yeah. But there's 3 of the red, and what that is different modes of selection for the types of testing you're going to be doing. And again, if you have a little bit of electrical experience or knowledge, you'll know which one of these you should be plugged into and which one you should not be using for certain tests. And that will come down to the user. So I could try to, you know, we've got input right here, so that will basically run all your functions anyway. So you're good to go on this one. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is banana jacks and the tubes. And there is a, let's see if I can get this. Yeah, see, this is the problem with banana jacks, and we've had this since I was a kid, that they don't go in real tight. And I'm just going to hold that up to you. See, it's a little bit of slop in there. So even with the old meters, these are meters that are over 50 years old, those 2 Simpson meters that I've got up on my shelf, They used banana jacks. And when we were kids, what we used to do is we used to take cigarette paper, the tin foil that was in a pack of like Marlboros, and wrap the banana jack with it and stuff it in the hole to make it tighter, or even a piece of wire in some cases. I would actually, I'm going to have to say that depending on your requirements, you might want to tighten it up using some tin foil or something in there, because I really don't like the way they fit. I didn't like them back then. I still don't like them. And these are, well, here we'll do this input, and we'll do the common here on this particular meter, and I will set it for, we'll do an ohms test, and that way you can see what's going on here. Maybe not. I don't know if this will work or not. Let's see what we got. We'll put the two probes together, and there, and you can see it is connecting. And then I'm going to move these around a little bit. You see this? Yeah, and that's the problem. Banana jacks don't always give you a good tight fit. And there's a couple of other tricks you can do. Sometimes you can actually spread the banana jack open a little bit to get it tighter. But, like I said, what we did when we were kids, we used to wrap it with a little bit of tin foil and then stuff it in there to make it tight. And that was fine for a meter like this, because a lot of times these were the only two selections you were going to be using. The 10 amp measurement here for loading for like a 10 amp circuit, something like that, wasn't all that useful. And same with the milliamp input here. Again, it's not something, you know, most of us would use. So just having them stuffed in with a little piece of tin foil or something was always like, that way you knew when you were doing like a resistance test like this that you were 100% on the meter all the time. And Tesmen has fallen into the same hole that everybody else does with their meters. You know, they use those really fancy little banana jacks, and I like them, but they're not the best way to make a good electrical connection sometimes, and this is what you end up with. So yeah, that's probably my only down or con to the whole feature. Other than that, the price, the features, you know, for a little multimeter around the shop, at the, you know, I can't beat it. You know, I think it's terrific. And this meter right here will be staying with me in my drawer to use for whenever I do have a problem and I'll be checking something. So there you go. You know, I'll shut that off. Especially with the multi functions that it has, it's a really, for me, it's a great meter. Actually, that right there is, that's a fabulous little feature right there, being able to tilt the meter up in your face so you can actually read the darn thing. Now, the small one, we're going to switch over to the other one, because this is the same thing. This has almost, not as many, but almost as many features as that little multimeter, but it's a smart meter. So it actually has, and I'll see if I can power this up, and it should say auto, and it does. It says auto. And what that is if you are testing a circuit and you're really not sure what's in there, it will take a sample and figure out what you're looking at, and it'll let you know up here on the meter. Now the same problem is going to exist. So let's see, let's go to ohms again, ohms function. And again, this is a small meter, so it doesn't have that fancy little thing, so I'll have to hold it, and I will close these two there, close them. And we do get a beep on that one. I guess I must have, which one did I do? Okay, I did the sound test for resistance, which is cool, because beep, beep. See, and they are working, but again, they're a little bit of a sloppy connection right here. So again, to tighten that up, a little bit of tin foil stuffed in, you know, just to make it sure, if you're going to keep the meter around you for a long time, or, you know, if you're going to be leaving the same probes in. Now this one here is really nice, because I'm going to shut it off here for a second. Beep, there you go. This one here, you only put the two probes in it, that's it, you're done. You know, everything else is function and auto is up on here. So you have this function button right here, which will tell you to set for AC measurement or a DC if you're checking a car battery, something like that. And you can go through your resistance test, or as you heard, the beep test for you know, resistance, not says resistance, but to make sure we have contact through a circuit somewhere. If you're looking like a switch or something like that, and you want to check it, you can hear the beep, 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 you know. So it's really, and again, it's a smart meter, but it's an awesome little meter for the price. Just a basic meter like this around the house, if you're not really a big electrician guy, you know, something like this can be simple enough that it's like, man, this meter is smart, and you know, I can just use it, and it's a great little meter, and it really is. And for the price, it's, like I say, it's just, Tesmen has always been really good about pricing with their stuff. They don't gouge you, you know, with the products, and they offer great features like this. And of course, anything with batteries, if you're going to leave the meter in a drawer someplace for months, after at least a couple of months at the worst, I would take the batteries out, because if you leave batteries in, they will eat the meter eventually. Yeah. There'll be a description in the links below for where you can find this meter, and to find the little, you know, I guess we'll call artificial intelligence or AI meter that smart. It's a smart meter, you know. And I invite you to take a look at those links, take a look at those prices for the features. They are, Tesmen has some really nice stuff. And like I said, this one here, this baby right here is going to stay with me, because I could use a good meter around here. Now, there's something else we need to do, because we haven't done this in a long time, and I used to love doing it. I have got another meter here, from Tesmen. And it's this one right here in the box, unopened. And I think what we should do is give this away on the show next week. What do you think? Yeah, you know, a multimeter. So, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do what we always do. If you want to get in on the draw, we'll do a ticket draw. And you'll have to email it to and in the subject line, we'll just put meter, M-E-T-E-R, one entry per household. In the body of the email, just your name and address, that's all, nothing else, no phone numbers. And then we'll make up tickets from those with our computer, and next week we'll draw tickets from a coffee jar, and we'll see, and somebody, I will mail this to someone who's a viewer, I hope, maybe even a subscriber, and they'll get yourselves a free Tesmen multimeter from me. Yes, and meantime, oh wow, that was an interesting deal. I've got to get out of here, but it's well, let's find out, what is it. It's let's see what the meter says it is. Yep, it's now 32 degrees Celsius in here, going up. Yeah, so yeah, so I got to get out of here. Over and out.